So as Rav Claudia said, oh my goodness, sorry. I moved to Boston this past summer on the way to finish up my PhD. I moved from New Jersey, where I had been living since 2016, when I moved there for graduate school. I remember when I first moved to New Jersey, I was filled with anxiety. My mom was close by in New York, and my grandparents actually lived there, but besides my family, I knew no one. As I started my program and met people, the feeling of isolation did not improve, and if anything, it deepened. I was overwhelmed by the workload and expectations of my supervisors, and although I was friendly with others in my program, I did not feel connected to them. I thought time maybe would fix this, but as the year went on and I did develop connections with some members of my program, I still felt alone. It was as if there was a hole in my being and I did not know how to fill it, no matter how much I worked or how many friends I made in my program. However, I made it through my first year of graduate school in a slightly better place than when I started, thanks to my friends, but still not confident that I would continue. I was using all the coping tools I had developed over the past 10 years of therapy I'd been in, but I was still unhappy. And I thought maybe I had picked the wrong path and just needed to start over. However, then I found a community. The story of how I found a community I felt connected to speaks to the randomness of life. I was very into fitness, and the exercise classes I had been taking on campus were being offered infrequently over the summer. And I wanted to find some group exercise classes in the community. So I looked some up on Google, there seems to be a theme here, and found this CrossFit gym that had good ratings. I met with the owner and he recommended that I try out a class and see how I liked it. I got up at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday, drove over to the gym, and did a punishing workout. I knew no one and was tired and sweaty afterwards, but surrounded by friendly faces and smiles, I began to feel like the hole in my being was filling up. Over the next couple of weeks, I went regularly, and the sense that we were all engaging in an activity together that we all valued, pushed ourselves, and the feeling of camaraderie I experienced filled up the hole that had installed itself permanently, what I thought had been permanently inside me. I remained a member of this gym and this community for the rest of my time in New Jersey and stayed in graduate school. This experience, my first experience of finding a community in my adulthood, resonates with me in this time of increased disconnection brought about by the pandemic. We need to feel a part of something greater than ourselves, and it is incredibly difficult, and I feel almost impossible, to do so via our Zoom screens. I think this is one of the reasons the pandemic has wreaked such havoc on our psyches. In an effort to keep ourselves and others safe, we have had to sacrifice a basic human need, that of group social connections. As human beings, we need not only intimate, close connections, which are necessary, but also to feel connected to a greater group, whether that be a religious community, athletic community, artistic community, or any other type of community you find yourself in. When we don't have this, we either turn inwards and sink into ourselves, become obsessed with social media trying to find that connection, or, most threateningly to our society, turn to conspiracy theories or join cults which provide us with a false sense of connection rooted in fear, paranoia, and resentment. As I have moved to Boston, this knowledge has been front of my mind, and I've worked to find communities. I would say I have been successful in that regard, joining a warm, welcoming synagogue and an athletic community whose values and ethos I share. This has made the transition to a new city much easier and more enjoyable, even as I still work to develop closer one-on-one friendships. As we exist in this world that COVID has tilted on its head, I pray and hope that we all seek and find communities that fill our hearts with warmth, compassion, and connectedness.